Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Local Talent Showcase. My name is Tony Frontino. I am your host for the show that will bring good news to the Roseville, Sacramento area. Now, remember Christmas, the Christmas tree, and what did you usually have underneath the Christmas tree? Lionel trains going around and around. Well, I have two of my friends here. I know them from Arden Playhouse, and they are adults involved in trains. Let me introduce my friend Gene.
Tony.
How you doing, Gene?
I'm doing great, Tony.
And his wife, Sandi.
Hi, how are you doing, Tony?
Okay. Tell me a little about trains.
Well, trains come in all various sizes and shapes. We have 3 different sizes I brought today. This is an HO gauge, which is about a 1/84th scale. This is the Lionel, the type you got for your train underneath the Christmas tree, better known as O gauge, about a 1/43rd scale. And then the big ones, which is the G gauge, which is about a 1/24th scale.
Now, how did you get involved with trains, Gene?
I got my first train when I was about 6 years old, and I've been playing with them ever since. I never got rid of them. I just had a Lionel on a piece of plywood that had a track with a switch on it, and at night I just shove it underneath the bed. And then from that, we kind of moved into HO, which allowed us to take a 4x8, put it on a table, and expand mountains and sceneries and towns and do all sorts of things.
Now, you have a specialty called Backyard Railroad, Garden Railroad.
Yeah, that's the G gauge, the bigger
And
scale.
explain, what is Garden Railroad?
You take whatever size piece of property you want to use in your backyard, and you develop a train layout, and then you put in miniature plants, buildings, people. You've got to build a diorama, and then you can run your trains inside this. Some people will start with a 10x10. I've been working on mine for a few years, and it's going to be like 20x70 when I get through, and about 3 layers of trains running through the backyard. So once I get going, get the basic layout done, then I'll start putting in miniature blue spruce dwarfs. Yeah, live trees.
Live trees?
Yeah. I use box setters, all sorts of little plants and trees.
In a little while, we're going to take a look at some pictures.
Yeah.
In a little while.
Yeah.
Sandi, what's your part in this whole thing?
Well, I'm helping to design some of the ideas, and also I have a regular vegetable garden in the backyard, and we're going to have part of the one spur of the train track goes past the vegetable garden, and he's promised to set up a place where I can put some vegetables as I harvest and run them right to the back door.
So you're going to set vegetables in the train?
Well,
yeah, we'll put gondolas, flat cars
gondolas.
and stuff like that on the end of it.
But
yeah.
that's just
like
for
that.
fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm also helping him to decide what plants he's going to put in, and help design, buy some of the decorations.
Now, is there a society?
Yes, there's a national society. In Sacramento, we have the Sacramento Valley Garden Railroad Society. We meet monthly at various members' houses and share ideas, and we help each other. I have a couple of the members that come over and help me with some of the more delicate brickwork and masonry work.
Now, in your backyard, you build tunnels and bridges.
There'll be tunnels, probably 2 tunnels. We took a trip to Arizona a couple of weeks ago to see my mom, and then on the way back we stopped at Tehachapi, and I shot some pictures of the Tehachapi Loop, which raises a train 100 feet in a short period of time. So one of my features is going to be a loop where the train will go under itself and back around and raise in elevation.
Now, How much does this run in terms of the backyard, the trains?
Well, in the landscaping, I've probably got between $15,000 and $20,000 into just the landscaping without even touching the trains. Trains can run anywhere. This particular engine runs around 265. They go up to some of the live steam ones, which run $3,000 and $4,000.
I had Lionel trains when I was young.
Yeah.
Now, I think my mom gave them away, but they were metal.
Yeah.
This is plastic?
This is metal. This is Lionel. Yeah, the O gauge is metal.
Okay.
This is one of the cheaper ones. Like I said, it was like a couple $100. They do make them out of metal. The more expensive ones are solid metal.
And I had the milk car where the little milkman comes out and throws out the little milk cans.
They still have the animation. Lionel still makes that animation stations that you can set up on your tables and stuff. They're more for indoor than outdoor. Animation with electricity and stuff. Dew gets in there and, you know, pretty soon it's rusted.
Do you use computerized?
I use digital command control. This one runs off a battery. In fact, I brought the battery. It doesn't take much of a battery to run a train, and that just drops right into the tender. I didn't bring the remote control.
And then you can remote control.
Right. I'll get about 3 hours of running time on this engine off that little battery. And then I can just pull it out, put it into the charger, and just drop a fresh one. I have about 6 of those that I swap around.
Now, do you have grandkids?
Uh-huh. Yeah,
They must love coming over here.
Actually, most
Or
of
you
my
tell them, don't touch.
they're past that stage. Most of my grandkids are teens and young adults now. I have one great-great-grandbaby now, so I expect that sooner or later they'll be coming down to see the trains.
Sandi, when you met him, did you know he was into?
No, he was into auto racing when we got together. And he told me it would be grounds for divorce if I interrupted him seeing the Indy. But that was just, you know, he's gradually gone back to the trains. He did play with trains early part of our marriage, but we were pretty busy with other things at the time. So.
I know. I really, going back, I met you at Magic Circle Field in Roseville. You were season ticket holders, and you were really nice people.
We were?
You were.
We are.
You are. And now we're involved with Arden Playhouse, which is on Roseville Road, just past Madison. It's a beautiful theater.
Yeah.
And then I walked in to help, and I said, I know these people. So, do you have competitions with the your backyard? Do people judge it?
There's usually some competitions at the national convention. This year it's in Chicago, and usually it's involved with kit building or what they call kit bashing, where you make a specific type of car or a building and you enter into it. As far as competition for designing layouts and stuff, there is a National Garden Railroad magazine, and occasionally they'll come out and they'll highlight somebody's backyard in their monthly issue.
Great. And we have some pictures.
Yeah.
Right, control room. Let's look at those pictures. There we go.
Okay, I put this together for Sandi's 55th birthday party. She said she had to have some trains running, so in the middle of all the landscaping, I just stopped and set up this little town and a simple loop of track and dug out some plastic trees and some plastic mountains. And
so that's in your backyard?
This was in the backyard. It was up for about 3 months, and we've since moved on with the landscaping from then. But As you can see, people are always part of it. You got the town square there with the gazebo and some picking and grinning. You can see there's wooden buildings, plastic buildings, all sorts of a checkers game on the front porch.
This is a Wild West scene.
It's a turn of the century, 1900, or between 1900 and 1905. When you get over to when we bring up the train station, you'll see some 1903 Buicks. There they are, some Buicks and Oldsmobiles from circa 1903. So that's what I like about doing 1900, say in 1910. You can mix the Old West with the new stuff.
Now, you buy those kits?
Yeah, these buildings come in kits. I put them together, and you can see there's the dance hall with the ladies upstairs. Sandi's candy store, that's her candy store.
Yeah.
And there's the water tower and the fire station. I don't know if you can see on top of the bank building, there's Mr. Kong and Fay Ray.
Oh, God.
We have a little fun with the fantasy in this type of deal. It's not real serious modeling. The ice cream parlor there on the left is actually a birdhouse that was converted. There we are waiting for the noon train. See
That's the station.
The period dress for the people on there is from about the 1900s. And that's one of my LGB short-wheeled engines. That one has digital sound. And I'm running it from remote control. There's a cowboy, and there's a hobo there with his fire and coffee. There we go, coming through the switch yard.
Some cows there?
Yeah, that's from the farm that's coming up. There's the engine house for parking. There's a siding, the main line, and then there's a unloading cattle into the cattle car on the one side there. And some kids out there on a hay ride. So I can run 2 or 3 trains at a time. There's the farm, the old steam-style tractor from the early 1900s. That's Spooky Town. It's kind of a ghost town with skeletons. It's animated. I bring it out for Halloween, but I have to be real careful because it is mechanized.
Nice, yeah.
So I have to cover it up at night, keep the dew off of it. But anyway, I just put this up. Now this was back at the beginning before we started.
Before you started.
Yeah, about a year before I got started, I just kind of let the whole backyard die out. So I figured if I'm going to tear it up, why bother?
And you don't have to mow it.
So this is kind of where we were before I even started. There's some old plants along there. The fence on the left is about ready to fall down. There was some bottle brushes and stuff on a raised bed there. The front retaining wall has since deteriorated and gone. So yeah, this is kind of what it looked like before we got started. Those are the stumps from the old bottle brush. Ivy coming through the fence from my neighbor's yard.
So you took all that off?
That's all gone, yeah.
All
we
gone.
took, yeah, this is
Oh, that's the patio
that's
on
the
the
patio and shade
covered.
screen over it, yeah.
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 It's
a trapezoid type yard. It's narrower at the left end than at the right end, so it goes from like 13 feet to 22 feet out, which is gonna make the scale or the layout a little challenging. That's the side of the yard. That is where I'm going to use for building my staging. In other words, I'll have a switch yard in there where I can actually stage the trains and then bring them out into the yard. Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's